with every organization where we come across. So today, the first session we are talking about uh, five-star business networks and how the concept will help organizations to achieve a success. Okay, so the presenter is none other than Mr. Vivek Sood, Captain Vivek Sood. Okay, so just to give me a quick introduction, let me give a quick introduction of Mr. Vivek Sood. Vivek Sood, co-founder of Global Supply Chain Group, combines early maritime experience with an MBA from AGSM. He learned supply chain management at Booz Allen Hamilton over 20 years. His team has led 400 plus projects across 84 countries, adding $1+ billion in value through transformative supply chain innovations. And he is author of multiple books. He recently released a book also, and I just have it, his book on my shelf. Okay, so we are going to talk about this. So I keep as a reference to his book. Okay, so we talk about more about this as we go on. Over to you, sir, Captain Vivek Sood. Please, you may proceed with your presentation and explanation.
Thank you,
You can
Mr.
take
Sheikh.
because it's a morning session. It's a morning session, so 5-10 minutes is just to catch up everybody with their coffee and
Yes.
breakfast. Yeah. Over to you, sir, Captain Vivek Sood.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sheikh. Welcome, everybody. It's very good to be present in this meeting. And I want to talk about five-star business network. Now, what is five-star business network? Where this name came from? I have to tell you a bit of history. I used to say, people, look, my company works in supply chain. People said, what is supply chain? Nobody knew what is supply chain. I had to redefine what is supply chain. I'm playing golf in my golf course with a group. We were sponsoring the event, the competition, and they asked me, what is supply chain management? I said, look, this is nothing but it's a business network. So what does it do? I said, it does many things. I wrote a book. You saw the cover, Mr. Sheikh showed you the book. So that book is for sale on Amazon. You can buy it. And I explain to people what is supply chain, what does it do, why you need it. You need it every day in your business. It does many things. It does at least 5 things for you. And you see, I have a model of 5 things it does for you very, very, very well. And that's what I'll show you in my presentation. Okay, Praveen, can you show the presentation, please?
Deep, are you sharing presentation?
Yeah, I can if you want me to. So do you
Yes,
want me
please.
to share it?
Yes, please
Yeah,
show. Go to page 4. So this is about five-star business network. So I'm explaining where this name came from. Introduction. On page 6, I say, what is business network or ecosystems? It is a group of companies which come together for one purpose, for meeting the need of a customer. If you do it together and you do it well, then you are working, you are humming. Your network is humming like a well-tuned engine. If it works, then you all make money. If it doesn't work, something breaks apart, then you're losing money in the network. So in this book, I discuss what is good business network, what is a bad one, and why this is critical for success of companies. Okay, we're going to see very soon. I'm waiting for the screen. I'm quiet because I'm waiting for the screen to come live.
Deep, yeah.
Okay, I have to talk about the context. We are just all coming out of the COVID. What is happening? There's too much economic uncertainty. We are living in
Sir,
a very volatile
it's
world.
popping up. The screen is still coming up. Just
Yes, yes. I'll
Yes,
continue
yes.
my speech meanwhile, okay? So I'll say that we are living in a world of huge economic uncertainty. So whether it's the elections in USA, whether it's the economy of China or the world economy, every country is facing up and down. It's very hard to say what is going to happen in the economy. So let's look at the next slide, slide 8. So what we are looking at the economic growth. The leaders are all asking for growth of economy. How will the economy grow? Because the business, if you have good business, the economy will grow. If the business does not grow, everybody is sad. So what we need to for business to grow, a very good business network. If you don't have one, you don't have business. Look at slide 9. What is the role of business? So people can argue many things, but you cannot deny that eventually a business will decide how the economy grows. You can see the slide.
Yeah, just a second. I'm just
Any
resharing.
problem?
Okay, you can see it. I'm sure you follow the economic news every day. You see what is happening in China and what is happening in USA, and that's what is going to decide what's going to happen in economy in your country. Okay. So
Are you able to share, or you want me to share, Deep? Want me to
Yeah,
share?
please share.
Another product.
Share. Yes, sir. If you are able to see my screen,
Yes, I can see you. Thank you very much. Please go to slide 9.
I'll just. Yeah.
There's a lot
Okay.
of content, but I will take you through. Yeah, this is slide 9. Yes, thank you. Business has big role to play in the global economy, and besides business is the supply chain. And most people understand supply chain properly now, so that's good. After COVID, people understand what is supply chain, what role it plays. It's very funny that people only understand supply chain only after supply chain phase. That's the very sad thing. Let's go to next slide, slide 10. Let's look at other trends. People actually talk a lot of bad things about globalization, but actually globalization does a lot of good things to people. Problem is all the bad things that happen are not due to globalization, but it's just a side effect. It's not the result. For example, now I'm talking about China. China has actually taken manufacturing capacity from the rest of the world into China. So that is actually killing a lot of businesses around the world. People are alarmed due to that. So next slide, please. So all eyes are on the business. In the midst of all this macro situation, this businesses continue to suffer from intense uncertainty and anxiety. Investment decisions are delayed for months because of the uncertainty, and people are waiting for consumers to catch up. So there is no doubt that business, large or small, they are suffering quite a bit. Today, there is hardly a business which does not affected by GFC and by COVID. I can't think of any business who is not affected. Let's go to the next slide. Just talk about recovery. Now, you hear some news about recovery and recovery of confidence. Businesses being under a lot of scrutiny. How can a business grow? Let's go to the next slide. First sentence is innovation. Innovation is critical. Let's think about how can you innovate quickly. Next slide. That if business is ladder to economic salvation, then innovation becomes the rungs of the ladder. You need new products. You need new methods to create new products and to distribute and service these products. If you can actually create new products and new ways of delivering the products, you have done a huge thing for your economy. Let's go to the next slide. Best thing is to learn from success and failures of others, how they use supply chains. Let's look at some examples. Go to next slide, slide 18. So in my book, I give a lot of case studies. I say this, that these case studies are just examples. How do you succeed in business and in creating new products? There's no formula, but in my book, I show you how you can use the supply chain, create new products. So go to the next slide.
So it's a high valuation, business profit, and value justification. Is that something? Yeah.
That's the valuation of social networks. That's slide 18. Okay. The magic of networking. Yeah, I'll go back to the previous slide, please. Okay, high valuation. This is because when I wrote this book, there was huge talk about how valuable the social networks. Facebook was $18 billion or something. I want to talk about this. LinkedIn was very, very valuable, but today we are all here because of LinkedIn. That's the value of LinkedIn. But today we are all here, sitting here, talking about our supply chain, talking about something that will help people. That's the reason for high valuation. And that justifies the value that gives profit to everybody. Let's go to the next slide, please. Because big question in everybody's mind. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How can a
So
company
slide
which has
19.
no manufacturing, no traditional customers, no suppliers, no products, no warehouses, and no logistics command a valuation roughly equivalent to 10% of the GDP of Australia? So this was the question all the analysts were asking. Why is this so valuable? They're talking about Facebook. The answer was the value of the network. So as a company, we should grow our network and we should use our network. Let's go down to the next slide.
So, Captain Vivek Sood, so what you're trying
sir.
to, what we are understanding is any company, whatever business they do, and this is including supply chain organizations, they need to improve their business networks or social networks. Is that you're saying, sir?
Yes, you have to create your network and you have to harness that network. And that's what I'm implying here. That you have to create the network and you have to then harness, you have to get the value out of that network. I'm trying to say this. So don't just create a network like
Mhm.
either you have created a network, then harness that. Now you're harnessing the network to bring people together and creating value for them, for all of them.
Perfect, sir.
Right?
Mhm.
So if everybody gets value, then they will stick to the network, they'll recognize the value, they'll invest in the network as well. Let's go to the next slide, slide 21. Basically, what I was saying that in this presentation, I'm not going to justify why Facebook is so valuable. I'm going to tell you that why you should build a good social network, so good business network, and harness that. So that's my main purpose today. I want to stress the value of network, the importance of good network. So let's go to slide 22, and I have a question then. That's a good question for everybody in this room to understand.
Yeah. Mhm. Why most CXOs never make it to the CAO unless they use 5-star business networks?
Yeah,
A fantastic question, sir. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's the question somebody asked me in one of the meetings. I was in the board meeting once. People asked me
That's so
why
true,
this
sir.
happens.
Mhm.
I said, okay, let's think about this question. Let's go to the next slide. I have a case study on the next slide. This case study in my book. I will ask you to read the book. Then you will understand why most CEOs need to have a good network and need to use good network. Let's go to the next slide. Slide 24. Let's see the journey of every C-level executive. You climb 4 ladders to get to C-level. You join as an education person. You're just a clerk or something like that at the bottom level, and you are just doing what you're told. Then you start planning how the work is done. That's an operational level. So as the second level, you are a leader. At the tactical level, you're planning tactics. Then you're teaching people how to do things. Above that, in the strategic level, that's the C level. You have to be very strategic. You have to think long term. And so at C level, you have to build your network. You have to be known about your networking skills, what your skills of building a whole network inside your company and outside your company. If you can't do it, your board won't recognize your value to the company. Okay, let's go 2 slides. Let's skip 2 slides. This is a very good point. If you are a C-level person, and if the CEO position becomes free, there are more than 10 candidates for the CEO's role from within the company. So if you are CFO, the Chief Operating Officer, or head of human resources, is also vying for the role. So you need to know where these people come from and how they get to the CEO. They come from many different directions. How the answer how is very simple, by building a network and by using a network. That's what you need to do in your company. If you are a C-level person and you want to become a CEO in your company, learn how to build a network, learn how to use it in your company, in your industry.
So, can you give an example, sir? For example, you are a chief operating officer.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say, and then what? So here we have like at least 4 CXOs: CFO, CMO, and CIO.
Yes.
Okay, so COO should network with the rest of the C-level executives, and also he should know, he should network not only at C-level, maybe he should network even multiple levels in their domain, their organization structure, to talk about, to support him or whatever, or maybe to learn.
Yes, he has to get their support, and they have to all come behind him, pick him as a leader. If they do that, then the board will pick him as a leader.
Okay, so what you're saying is, if I understand, sir, so it's not only, for example, if a CFO is there, so it is
Yes.
not only his responsibility to make the finance function very well,
Yes.
but also he need to help COO, CMO, and CAOs and to help them to succeed in their domain. So that's how you help them, so that they help you to become a CEO. Is that?
Yes. Yes. Very true. Very true. They will come with you if they are getting what they want in life from coming
Yeah.
with you.
Mhm.
It's very simple.
Perfect. But if you don't help them and you work as a silo, and so nobody will help you. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take a hands-off approach, people will keep away from you and they will not support you. They won't come behind you. And board looks at what is coming. If there's people behind you, they put you on the seat. If they don't see you in a leadership role, they won't put you in the seat. Let's go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide, slide 27. Yeah, let's look at modern organization, what happens in every company. So next slide, after that, I show you a case study. In many companies, there's 5 to 10 people who report to the CEOs. Each of them think he's only one step away. He's the next CEO. I gave a case study of one of my colleagues. His name was Kevin.
Mhm.
Nice story. I can, if I run a workshop, I'll tell you the story in that workshop.
Sir,
But-
there will be organizational politics.
Yeah,
In
it's
the
all about
company.
politics. Humans work with politics. Humans should know how to work with politics and how to use that politics for the company or for themselves.
Mhm. So if you just avoid interacting with them and stay isolated, it's not going to help if you want to grow. So you need to face it and then excel in networking. That's what you're saying, sir.
Exactly. You need to learn the game. You can't play the game without learning the game.
Mhm.
Let's go to the next slide. That's a very easy slide to understand why. So what does the CEO does? He brings everybody together to get the result. So if you don't know how to get people together, nobody will make you in a position where you have to bring people together. You have to be good at integrating and at optimization. If you don't know these two things, nobody will make you CEO. So that's the reason. So I have case studies on how to actually integrate and how to optimize. I do that in my workshop, but right now I'm running the workshop. I'll do that later.
So
Let's go to
here
the
you
next
said
slide.
about 4 topics, sir. So you talk about selection of criteria of outsourcing, local, global selection,
Yes.
outsourcing factors and outsource. So basically, what I understand in this slide is you need to, as a aspiring CEO or if you become a CEO, so you need
Yes.
to make sure that the internal team and use the internal team, maybe use the external team or whoever is required to get the job done. Okay, so
Sure.
this is the skill the CEO must have. Okay,
Sure. You need to know
once
who can do the good job. So you
Mhm.
need to know how to pick up for this job, pick the right person for the right job, and how to bring
Yeah,
everybody together to get the job done.
yeah. So he must see the job gets done. It does
Hmm.
not if nobody wants to see hear the excuse from CEO
Yeah,
that
it's like
there's
how you
something
bring
wrong.
everybody together for this workshop. This we are running right now.
Mhm.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. That's a very well done, and that's a very good point you made. Thank you. Generally, I have a case study in my workshop to bring this point home. So I can say this. That's easy to say. but very difficult to get people to realize. They realize that in a workshop. Okay, next slide, slide 30. So how to use this report? I have this report is the summary of my book. I give people a before giving a book to people, I give them a cheat sheet. This is how you read this book. This is how you use this book. Section we discuss the trends, and we tell people the theory. And in the second section, we show them how to put that in practice.
So, so in the first part, in your book, you talk about creating the business networks, first of all, and then the second, how this business network work for you. Okay, so how to operate it, like how to harness the business network to make the job done. Something.
Yes.
Let's
go to the next slide. That's very easy. So I can't see you. What did you say?
No. I think he joined. Maybe his mic was not in mute. No problem. So please continue.
Let's go to the next slide, please. It's got very good 3 points.
Yeah.
So what are the trends? Look at the trends. Then look at what you need to do. And there's a very good book I talk about back in India, competition. That's a good book. That's worth reading.
Okay. So what is in these 3 points, sir?
My main point here is that learn from Facebook, that use the value of your network, build a network and use it to build the value for yourself, to build a good business.
Okay, so there are 3 use cases, which is Peter Drucker to Tom Peters. Okay.
Yes.
And then you have a Facebook, and then you have a
yes.
books. Okay. Okay, perfect, sir.
So let's go down, look at chapter 1, slide 34. Yeah. I call it the most important network on earth. That's your business network. So in my book, it's worth reading. I get a lot of history lesson about how history is full of very good business networks and how people built empires in the past using business networks. If you look at British Empire, you look at what happened in the past and who have built a business network, how they used their who have built a big company. I won't name the company because they are very, very big companies right now. Just think of anybody you can think of. Then you look at an example of how they use their business network to actually.
So can I call like a East India company?
Yeah, that's right. East India company and Tata's, and you talk about them. Just look at how they use the business network and supply chains to build a very large conglomerate inside India or outside India, globally. Yeah. So on the next slide, I call it the most important network on the earth. On slide 36.
So we are talking about something social networking here, sir?
No, it's business network. It's not social networks, no.
So it's a General Motors?
Yeah, track down the business network to General Motors, how it created a network of ancillary units. So that was a good example in the book.
Mhm.
Let's go to the next slide. History. Yeah. The middle point is very important. Some communities become very insular by Hamos. They think I don't have to do anything from others with others. The moment you tend to keep away, you are actually winding down your business, your value. So last point is very important. Your
Mhm.
nimble competitors, they have loose networks of aligned companies. They could run rings around you in no times. That's because they're very nimble. They move fast. And that's a loose network. You don't need to create a very tight network. So these are guidelines for what you need to do going forward.
Mhm. So, sir, what is the summary here? So, if you have a large business network, so you also need to keep moving. You should not stay idle. Is that mean?
Yeah, you should have clear rules, which means you should have clear understandings of how people will get value. And if you want action, you need to make them understand how they can get paid more. If they don't understand, you won't get action the way you want it. It's very simple.
Okay, if you do, yeah, if you don't do that regularly, the
Yes.
competitors, they can
Yes.
align together
Yeah.
and easily overturn you.
Yeah, they can follow
So it
you.
does
So
not
be careful about competitors. Yeah.
it does not matter whether you are how big is it, like something like a Nokia or something.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a good network connectivity, and then yeah, so you may have a chance that your competitor will overturn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Now this is a very important point for many companies because they are worried about their business infrastructure. I'm saying that you can actually replace your business infrastructure with your business network. Why? Because business infrastructure is very expensive. To maintain a big infrastructure, you have to spend a lot of
It's very
money.
expensive.
Yeah, very, very expensive. So you can replace your network,
Mhm.
and which means you can lower the cost, fixed cost, variable costs, and at the same time you can get the results with your business network.
It's very
That's why
interesting, sir.
at the bottom I call it the most important network on earth. If these people show up with their face on the screen when you need them, that's actually a network which is very effective. If it's a blank with no face, then that's not a network which is effective. Let's go to the next slide. That's important. People ask me what is the magic of business network, and there's some games I have played in the workshops,
Mhm.
and that actually brings out the magic. People realize what's the magic. Let's go to the next slide. So next question is how to systematically create a network which is effective. That's answered in the book, and I have a game that makes you realize. These are good questions, and you should ask yourself this:
Mhm.
what makes our business network better than others? How can you make sure my business network is better than any other company? That's very, very important. Very quickly, once you build a good business network, as a result, you will create strong barriers to entry for other people.
So these are the questions for the individuals. They should ask themselves.
Yes. That's a question that people answer in the workshop, and they come and give presentation. And then if they are from a same company, there's a big learning for the company in this workshop. And you can also learn from your business network. If 5 people sit together and they answer these questions honestly, and then they can learn from each other.
Correct.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. That's a case study of what's happening in Japan in 2011. In March, there was a tsunami. You must have heard the news.
Yes.
There's a big wave which came in the coastal stretch in eastern Japan.
Yeah, it was very, very, very dangerous.
Yes, devastation of
I've seen it live on
factories.
the
In Japan, there was devastation of factories. There were rumors of shortages. So basically, what saved the Japanese business? Their business network. I give a lot of examples in that company in that book. I showed them how the business networks saved the many companies. There are a lot of case studies there. The book is full of number of case studies of how there was fire in a factory. How they said, okay, we'll go to another supply, and they had a good network with the other suppliers. They were not complacent. They said, let's keep the network alive. If Vivek can't make the presentation, who can I call? Let's call Praveen. Let's call Anita. So that's a business network, right? The book has a number of examples. Let's go to slide 42. Mr. Khali, please go to next slide. Yeah. I call it most important network on earth. Next one. Go down, please. Nokia slide.
Yeah, this is an okay slide.
Yeah. Okay, this is a case study. So there was fire in the factory which made the parts for Nokia's phones. Because of fires, supply chain fell apart. And Ericsson were very fast. They knew that the fire was there, so they moved very fast to secure the supply. They kept the supply chain humming. They saved their supply chain, and they saved their phones, and they saved their network. The market never suffered. Now, if people ask me, why did Nokia fall apart? Well, this is the reason why Nokia, they couldn't respond to the fire. So you have to have this kind of supply chain resilience built in your network. If you don't have it, your company will go down. This is what happened to Nokia. Save your company. So this story is repeated in every company, every industry. The top guy falls apart in his network. The moment there is a misstep in his business network, basically somebody else will come and take over. How Ericsson took over from Nokia. Let's go to the next slide. Slide 44. Yeah. So I said in industry after industry, whenever a challenging time arrives, eventually the winner changes. Who's the leader? It's the one who has the better network, who's prepared. This will happen in your industry as well. So be prepared. Be prepared and keep your network ready. Keep it humming. Okay. So slide 45 tells you when the cache is king, how to release cache using network. So I quote a study from another company in slide 44. When the cash is king, business network actually saves you. In the times of financial crunch, it will actually easier cash flow. So next slide, I give a chart, couple of charts. I divide the economy in three kind of companies who have better supply chain, mediocre supply chain, and the laggards. So that's a cash conversion cycle in days. Many companies don't know how to measure these things, but these things you have to measure. You need a good system, the kind that Mr. Kadar's company provide. You should get a good system to understand what is cash conversion cycle in your company. So you need to be able to measure your cash to cash cycle. And then you have to actually see whether you're master or mid-tier laggard and how to move to master's position. If you are not a master, then next crisis like COVID, your company will fall apart. If it hasn't fallen apart, maybe it will fall apart in the next crisis. Better get good at it now. In the next slide, I talk about 92% of business network masters improve their cash cycle over 2 years, leading up to GFC. That's why I call it the most important network on earth. People don't understand its importance yet. I have to stand on stage and shout with my full lungs all the time. It's the most important network on earth. Supply chains. People don't know how to keep it together. Slide 48. I leave that with people. So that's a summary of all the examples I have in this section on business network. What are the benefits of good supply chain?
So it's like a business network will help in product development, risk management, which is in the catastrophes.
Yes.
Okay. So
You'll be
so
prepared
it's
for
like a
anything that
continuous
comes your way.
process.
Yeah.
So it's a continuous process. So the companies as a company or as an individual,
Yes.
if you want to become successful in this competitive environment, so you need to invest in business networking and harness it. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
and it will help. It will help individuals or organizations in the product development, in the risk management,
Yes. And you
and
will
also
be
improve the
prepared.
cash flows. Very interesting, sir.
Times change. Every time changes. In boom times, business network will give you speed. Let's look at the next slide. What you need in boom times is different. You need speed. If you can't catch up, you can't capture the market quickly, then you lose opportunity. You don't want to lose the opportunity. So what you need, who can help me capture the opportunities fast? You need to have a network. Okay.
It's very important.
Yes, exactly. So I think the book is full of examples. I'm not trying to just sell my book. I'm just telling you to understand the importance of network, build a good network for your company. So invest time for building network for your company. That takes time, not money, but takes a lot of time and energy.
Yeah, it's a time investment.
Yes, yes. I've translated this book in Chinese, so it's available in Chinese language. The reason I translated it in Chinese, It's available on Amazon in Chinese language. The reason is very simple, because people told me this is very important for China. I said, okay,
Mhm.
how can I sell more of this book in China? They said, translate it to Chinese. I said, okay, I don't know Chinese. So I found a
Sir, can we
translator.
summarize? Yes.
Hmm?
Can we summarize like top 5 takeaways so that the participants can take the benefit out of it? Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, yes. So that's buried in the name of the book, 5-star.
Mhm.
So that's an acronym.
I think there was somewhere you explained about that.
Yes,
What each
yes,
star means. Is
yes.
that in the coming?
Cash to cash cycle and transaction optimization of profitability. Every transaction, you want the best profit. You don't want profits to go through your fingers. When you make a sale, you get a lot of money. What happens to your suppliers? They come in and take money out of your hands, and the money just flows out of your hand. You are very happy, so you think you made a sale, so I'm good. No, you're not good, because if you didn't optimize profitability, that's actually very bad for your business. You need to have good contracts. You need to have good suppliers who understand the role in the whole place, whole thing. If your suppliers take over 80% of profit, you're left with nothing. You don't want that to happen. And how to build how to build a product life cycle of newer models of your product. Some companies are doing it badly. They spend too much time to get the new version of your next version of Windows, and they're not making much profit out of that. You need to optimize the cycle of product phasing. And then your outsourcing, that's very important. That's actually the foundation stone of your supply chain. How to outsource properly. It was so important, so I wrote another book just for that. The book is called Outsourcing 3.0.
Yeah.
There's a website for that book. So if you have a question of how to outsource properly, why to outsource, how to outsource well, read that book. So that's the 5 most important points in the book. I would actually say get the book, and if you have a problem, ask me for a presentation, ask me for a workshop. You'll get a lot out of this. For your team, for your company, you get a lot out of this. If you don't do, your business will actually be dead. You have it's life and soul of your company is your life and soul. Don't let it kill itself. Let's
Perfect, sir.
look at slide 51. That's a case study in a commodity cycle. This is very important right now. This is happening in Australia right now. So this company that I mentioned in this case study is sitting in play right now. Iron ore is a very big volatile commodity at this time. The price is fluctuating between $0 and $100, and the value is changing because of what's happening in Chinese economy. And what you really need is a very good supply chain. If you don't have that, your business will fall apart. But you need somehow to control this cycle, manage this cycle properly. So this company does it quite well right now. I didn't talk to them. You can understand how to do it yourself. Take the example in your mind.
Perfect.
Next slide has a very good case study of global bulk shipping. I come from shipping industry, so I have a personal stake in this game. So at least this is my industry. They don't listen to. They think they're bosses, so they think they know everything. So their business is falling apart because they don't learn. Best ways to manage its cycles is by using your supply chain, by using your business network. Companies don't learn how to use. So next slide gives you a full map of how to do it well. What kind of economic environment are you facing? Is it stable or is it volatile? And what kind of competition are you facing? Moderate or high or low competition? And your actions will need to change. And every one of the actions has business network in it. You need a very good supply chain and business network in that, which means doesn't matter how the industry is, it doesn't matter how the times are, economic climate changes, and due to the changes, you have to make changes in business. That can only happen if you have a network. Think about how you can use your network to make changes in your business. So next slide gives 3 main points for that I want to talk about. Your supply chain and your business network is unique to your company and your to your industry. And it's formulated over number of decades. And the network itself worth several trillions of dollars. You have to learn how to create it and how to change this every time things change. This is a very important slide. This is the most important slide in this presentation. Please mark this slide for your views. So take these 3 points home. They'll be helpful in business forever. Let's go to the next slide. That tells you industry-wise how these 3 points apply in retail or Facebook, or gives examples. Social networks, compare and contrast. Chapter 3. Yeah. Again, I'll ask you to read the book. The reason I ask you to read the book because it has a lot of case studies, industry by industry, how to use your supply chain for the best result. Let me close the door, please. Too noisy here. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry, my neighbor's garden is making too much noise.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So this slide talks about the case studies. I show a lot of case studies in the book, and I don't talk about these companies because simple reason is because I haven't actually in last 2 years I haven't kept up with how Facebook, Dell, or Apple, or this person Carl Khan he did. In last 2 years I didn't keep up, but next 2 slides talk about all that. So
Shall yeah.
next slide. Next slide. That'll give you an example. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. That's what happened with Facebook.
Yes.
How Facebook built itself into better trillion-dollar business, and that's Red Bull. The guy who formulated Red Bull. He was one of the clients of my business partner in Germany. So you want to keep all the manufacturing in one place, and they want to supply from that one place to the whole world. And they built a network very quickly. in 20 years, what they built. Coca-Cola did that in 69 years. So you need a business network to do that. If you want speed, you need network. You can't do it without a network.
Perfect, sir.
Yeah, I heard that story from my business partner, Wolfeld Pash. I had dug out those story and I wrote it here. And guess how I met Wolfeld Pash? That was my business network. I was doing a project in Europe. I traveled to Germany to meet him. And I found out that he was the guy who invented supply chain management. I said, I can learn something from you. Please teach me. He said, I need a partner in Australia. I said, sure. He wants to come to Australia for a workshop. I said, sure. We'll call you here. So there was something that in it for him, and there was something in it for me. I learned a lot of these stories. I learned supply chain management from the guy who invented supply chain management. And my learning was very quick from learning from the masters. And that's the value of network. And he got a lot. He got a business partner in Germany, in Australia. So now we built a business in Singapore together, which was very valuable for us together. These are two very important questions. Don't get complacent. Keep asking good questions to yourself. That's the value of a workshop for you. So understand the value of successful with business network and not so successful. What's the difference between the two? These are questions you need to ask yourself in a workshop of your top managers in your company. Very good answer will emerge in the workshop. I ask these questions because in the workshop, I said people get together for half an hour, discuss this question, and have one person scribing all the answers. Very important questions to ask.
Excellent, sir.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So excellent presentation, Captain Vivek Sood. I know you spent a lot of time in building supply chain capabilities, and your book, as I said, it's really, I keep looking at it, and whatever you said, very tip of the iceberg. Okay, so we strongly encourage everybody to read it and enjoy it, and reach you if there is any question or something for you on this to get clarified. So any final thoughts, sir? Final takeaways?
Final takeaways in the next two slides. People can read them. So just show them the slide. That will be very useful.
Valuation of business is astronomical, so
Yes.
difficult to quantify.
Yes.
You cannot really evaluate it. It's more than your imagination.
Yeah. So go to the next slide. That shows you a summary of chapter 1.
This is fantastic. So business networks are more important than your business infrastructure. That is amazing, the line, sir.
Yeah, the third point is very important. A business network is
your business
is revolutionary. It evolves by itself, flexible, and it's not increasing cost, it's increasing the revenue. It makes a business more resilient and responsive. You need to make it like that.
Perfect.
And we talk about examples of, how it makes a business resilient when the cash is king. So you want to make sure that cash sticks to your fingers, and it doesn't slip through fingers.
Perfect, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just stop screen sharing. If there is any questions, how can I stop it? Okay. Yeah. So fantastic, sir. I know it's very interesting topic. I wish all the participants understand what the value of it, and enjoy reading your book and literature. There are so many books you wrote. And thank you for joining all the way from Australia and giving us a valuable lecture, sir. Captain Vivek Sood. So
It's a pleasure.
you are a very you are a mentor and very big advisor for us. So thank you for joining all the way from Australia.
It's a pleasure.
So any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Vivek sir is available all the time. So if there is any questions, we can present it. Yeah. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for joining. And then we'll just take up the next session. With all give Captain Vivek Sood a big hand and applause to thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.